Hello everybody and welcome to the Redmen TV and my match reaction after Liverpool picked up all 3 points on the road at Bramall Lane after we beat Sheffield United 2-0. Not a classic, not a game that will live long in the memory for lots and lots of reasons, but a well-earned 3 points, I think it's fair to say. It was a potential banana skin for the Reds going up there. We know our record at newly promoted teams away from home is dodgy at best in recent times. The new manager stuff, Chris Wilder going back in, giving them a real feel-good factor. The atmosphere was good, it sounded like there as well. They were really up for it. They've got that new sense of belief now with him back at the helm. Whether it means they'll stay up or not is a different question, but at least the players have got something to fight for and the fans likewise. So Liverpool were walking into a potential sort of tricky encounter for us, but for credit, you know, where it's due, we dealt with that for the most part. I don't think it was perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Far from our best. Never really got into any sort of free-flowing football. Never really got out of second or third gear, if I'm being brutally honest. But did enough, I think it's fair to say. First goal comes from a set piece. It's actually Virgil van Dijk that opens the scoring after a lovely assist from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Emphasis on the ass there, if you've seen it, or if you've seen a picture of Trent's builder's arse on social media anywhere, you'll know what I'm referring to. But yeah, Virgil van Dijk actually takes it really well. It's a well-delivered corner from Trent, and Van Dijk meets it perfectly. There were appeals from them for a foul, but absolutely nothing given. One of them 6 of one, half a dozen of the other type wrestling matches going on inside the area. But yeah, Liverpool 1-0 up. And to be honest with you, I mentioned Sheffield United had their moments, and they did. Some good defending, I think, from Virgil in particular, throughout the course of the night. But we did have to rely on Keith Kelleher as well at one point, who came in for quite a lot of criticism for his performance on the weekend in the 4-3 over Fulham. I think he perhaps could have done better for a couple of those goals, but he makes a big save early on in this one tonight and sort of puts any doubters to minds at rest, I think it's fair to say, because I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper. I don't think he's shown that for quite some time, but that moment we needed him and he absolutely stood up. I thought it was an outstanding save, so credit to him for that as well. But no changes at half-time for the Reds. Never really had any clear-cut chances to double the lead either before the break, but came back out. And again, it was another professional-type performance, dominating much of the ball. Sheffield United weren't getting much of a look in, I think it's fair to say. But as the game wears on, you do start to wonder whether they're just going to hurt you. They're going to get that sucker punch. They're going to get a free kick, a corner, whatever it may be. Someone's going to bounce down unkindly in the area from a Liverpool point of view, and they're going to fire home. And the longer it goes on 1-0, you do start to wonder, don't you? Especially, like I say, with our absolutely wretched record on the road at these type of games in recent times. But thankfully, that wasn't the case. Liverpool made a lot of changes. Salah and Diaz were two of the first to come off as well, which shocked me, certainly Salah. McAllister comes off first and foremost. He had a really rough night in terms of getting fouled. He got stood on very early on. He picked up another big blow in early in the second half and eventually got taken off on around the hour mark, I think it was, and I mean hobbled off. He was in the wars big time, Alexis. But yeah, Liverpool were hanging on a little bit in terms of Sheffield United weren't sort of bombarding us. It wasn't a siege at any point, but you do, like I say, you do just wonder if it's going to be one of those nights, one of those all too familiar nights we've seen all too often in the past couple of seasons especially. But it wasn't. Liverpool go up the other end, and Darwin Núñez, who was busy when he came on, he made a lot of things happen, as he so often does. He squandered a chance himself moments earlier to make it 2-0, and you think, oh, here we go. Darwin Núñez missing chances, but thankfully it wasn't the case. He found Dom Szoboszlai and, cool as a cucumber, settled himself and fired home in front of the travelling cop as well. So yeah, boss moment for him. I think he had a quiet night, actually. I think he's had a quiet couple of weeks, to be fair, in Liverpool shirt, but all his good stuff's there in terms of his quality, his workman-like ethic around the pitch. I think he's a boss footballer, boss signing already. So he makes it 2-0 and he wraps it up, and ultimately it is just job done, really, for the Reds. Like I say, not glamorous, not a classic, not one that we'll be talking about in years to come, but yeah, 3 points. And you know, when you see Arsenal winning late last night, you know, Man City are playing now, they're currently being held, fingers crossed it stays that way, of course. We've just got to take care of our own business, and that was that. Basically, it really was. I've got to say, special mention for for Virgil van Dijk. I think there's a couple of good performances tonight in and amongst it, but Virgil van Dijk was absolutely phenomenal, like a level above what else was out there for me. I think he was just outstanding. Anyway, anytime anyone got near him, he just shrugged them off. He almost treated them with disdain at times, to be honest. There's a moment in the first half where someone tries to dribble around him and just goes, no, I don't think so, my mate. And even like his casualness in defending when they were attacking him, he comes across and makes his blocks. He was absolutely imperious. So yeah, and of course he got the opening goal. So yeah, special mention for Big Virg. Other than that, job done. Move on to the next one, Crystal Palace on the weekend. And we've got all the post-match content to come as ever on the Redmen TV. So make sure you check it out. And yeah, I'll speak to you again soon. Take it easy.